Welcome to Spinsters, a podcast where we do not break the code. That's good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Perfect.
I came
I'm
with
Haley.
one.
What?
I came with one.
Oh, let's see. Oh my
I
god.
don't know if it's good, but I remember I came with one.
Wait, okay. Put it. Yes. Do your recording
Okay, do I
and
need
everything.
Welcome to Spinsters, a podcast currently under review to see if it meets the criteria for a flagrant foul.
Oh, I love it.
Wow. Amazing.
Oh, that is so good. Wow.
So good.
Did I do it right? Did I say the first part right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, amazing.
Came prepared.
I'm just imagining you practicing that at least a couple times before you came on, and I really appreciate the attention to detail.
Of course.
Oh my god. And then also, I forgot from last time. How do you like to be introduced? Just your first name or your Twitter name? Are you like anonymous a little bit still, or?
Tyler I am is fine. That's fine.
Okay, well, today we have Tyler I am joining us. At Tyler I am.
Is that the Steve Kerr pause?
The Steve Kerr. And Jordan, and we're joined by producer Harry and Sierra, who runs our social. And we are going to see if you're overreacting on Twitter after the break. Should we spend this entire podcast explaining what RICO is? Bringing awareness to something I've learned about this morning.
I did not click on. I haven't.
My general understanding is that it's used to say that everyone in an organization or everyone attached to something can be prosecuted and is at fault because they found the thing at fault. So then it trickles down to everybody that they even deem is connected in some way.
Like everybody, Spinsters is technically a gang, right? Y'all got a name. Y'all probably got nicknames. Y'all meet at the same place at the same time.
Oh, no. There's a lot of proof.
You probably conspire to meet in the future at the same place at the same time. So by that, if anybody pinned here right now did a crime, we'd all go down.
Right. I genuinely think that's what it is.
I'm not kidding. That's how it goes. If they can classify you like as a gang technically, which a record label, which would meet most of the classifications, and that's kind of how Gunna got involved. Gunna got caught up for being cool. He was just wearing the chain and like hanging with the guys doing the stuff. Oh my god! But because he's part of the gang, we can show you conspired to do some of this criminal activity, Gunna. So it doesn't sound
threatening
good.
People on this podcast. How many people have I threatened to kill? Like genuinely.
kind of to steal like $30,000 from Daryl Morey, I think. So
then I'll do it.
See, and now we all get attempted murder charges.
Yeah,
that's how
I know.
This goes.
On the opposite, and I'm too scared to even jaywalk, so don't have to.
Yeah, Jordan,
don't have to worry about me.
They'll take one look at this and be like, "Never mind, whatever."
So you be the one like telling immediately.
No.
I would.
Yeah, I probably would.
I'm not built for their.
I saw Orange is the New Black, and I was like, I'm still not into the idea of that.
Listen, just in general, conspiracy. Like RICO, I didn't even do that stuff. I didn't rent that car. I didn't embezzle that money.
You're right.
I'm going to jail for this.
Right.
Yeah, some of the other big RICO cases, I just looked up examples of big RICO cases are the Gambino crime family, which is like the mafia.
Yeah, that sounds like the mafia.
And
definitely. I would have definitely guessed that.
Yeah, and FIFA those are some big RICO cases. So
like
those
soccer FIFA?
Yeah. For like taking
that's what I was
thinking.
Like, because a basketball team consider that they have planned practices and
nicknames.
King James.
Yeah. You feel me? The Greek Freak. Now who might that be? So everything's a gang is what I've learned.
Oh no.
Okay, so today, Tyler, did I tell you what we want to do? What we want to talk about?
Yeah, you said like the worst Twitter arguments, right?
Twitter arguments, yeah, that we think are potentially overblown. A while ago, I came up with the idea of calling things like this Morey panics. Because it sounds like moral panic.
Okay.
But it did not catch on.
Not yet.
I thought it was going to be big.
Not yet.
No one.
Hey, it's a recurring segment. I would say it's caught on.
It's a within this podcast, it's really
between this gang, yes.
Yeah, yes. I won't even say 4 people because Sierra wasn't here at the time. So.
But she's here now, so that's just how Rico works.
Right. You know what's funny about that, just real quick, is that I know that we all make fun of those Instagram and Twitter explainers, and now they're on TikTok and they're just aesthetically like very middle-aged millennial colors, and they explain like what's going on in Palestine and stuff, and everyone always makes fun of them. Today I learned what Rico is because of a very pretty green explainer with some flowers on it. So
there you go.
More you know.
Not all bad. Okay, the first one I want to do is breaking the code, because the most meat is on this one. Breaking the code has been a big Twitter ongoing thing that I don't know if, I guess what we need to decide with these is, does this actually matter, or is Twitter just bored and angry, and that's why it's perpetuated?
I think that's the case for every single one. I will vote the latter for every single one.
Probably is. And then if we decide that it's not something we should care too much about, we can all give something we care more about. Spotlight that. Okay, so breaking the code. Should I say what it all was?
Nice recap, yeah.
Yeah, you might want to do this, like, you know how on Snapchat you used to be able to do like 2 times, 3 times speed, and it was really funny. You might want to do that with this. Okay, I'll just try to say it as quick as possible. Dylan Brooks hit Gary Payton Jr. on the head from behind, which caused Jr. to fall hard. Jr.'s elbow broke. Dylan Brooks was ejected, flagrant 2, suspended for game 3. Steve Kerr says this whole long thing that is good, but watching the press conference, he has a way of speaking that's a lot like this. And then he says 3 more words.
The long pauses. It's for dramatic effect.
That's what I'm saying.
Me a really long time to transcribe like 2 sentences, but he said there's a code in this league, the code that players follow, where you never put a guy's season or career in jeopardy by taking someone out in midair and clubbing him across the head and ultimately fracturing Gary's elbow. This is a guy who's been toiling the last 6 years trying to make it in this league, which core finally found a home, just playing his butt off this year in the playoffs. This should be the time of his life. And a guy this is a dramatic rereading, and a guy comes in and whacks him across the head in midair. He broke the code. Dylan Brooks broke the code. Then someone told Dylan Brooks what Steve Kerr said, and he said, "No reaction. I don't even know what that means." And then
I did not know that.
Great, I didn't know that. Great response by Dylan Brooks.
Literally says, "I don't even know what that means. I did not even understand what he meant by that," even though he gave that long explanation, which took like 5 minutes for him to get out.
Oh, that's perfect.
Then in game 3, with no Dylan Brooks, Jordan Poole grabs Ja Morant's knee. Ja limps off the court, and then Ja tweets a video of the play and says, in quotes, "broke the code." And Jordan Poole was basically like, yeah, I don't want to see him get hurt. I hope he gets better. And then in game 4, Jordan Poole and Ja Morant shook hands, which
that was like breaking
for me.
I want to talk about that at some point. That I think the dap is at the heart of all of this.
It was a shake too. It was a
right.
Yeah, there was a little extra. Yeah.
It was a no look shake though. Is that, are we, it was a passerby.
Jordan did like I want to make eye contact. I want to shake your hand. I want to shake your hand. Like on the plane guy. I want to shake your hand. That's what Jordan Poole did. But Ja was just like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have did that if there was any legit bad blood. I don't think Ja even would have did that.
He would have walked by.
But it wasn't a friendly embrace. I don't think there was any love lost.
It was like a peace, but I think it made the peace, and Ja didn't have to do it. I don't think he's the kind of guy who would do it if he wasn't feeling like he'd gotten past it.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Poole slapped him on the back after they shook hands. It just seemed like he very much wanted to say sorry and or hope that was okay. And Ja was like, yeah, it's fine. To me, there's really nothing here except Steve Kerr speaking very slowly. And using, did you guys ever see The Imitation Game?
Mm-mm.
With the guy whose last name sounds like cucumber?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
It was about that mathematician in World War II.
Mm.
Alan Turing?
The Turing test.
Exactly. The first version of that movie was called Breaking the Code. So that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this.
Was a bad name for a movie. I would not watch a movie called Breaking the Code.
Bad name.
Not a good name. P.U.
I thought of those. Remember those old MTV shows? It was like Guy Code, Girl Code, and they would give you tips. Especially when you were a teenager,
tip would just
you
be
were
a horrible human being. Those were all the tips. Just be a bad person. That was
horrible tips. But teenage me was like, oh wow, okay, this is what you got to do when you're dating. This makes sense. But they were just comedians making jokes.
Literally men promoting sexual assault. Probably. I don't want to rewatch that at all.
It probably would not age. I don't know if it aged well at the time.
It was bad advice.
Yeah, it was bad advice.
That was the first thing that I thought of, was the code. Is this a guy code, girl code?
I forgot
MTV
all about that show.
Are you supposed to talk about the code? I feel like part of any code is you don't talk about the code.
And that's what I felt from Steve Kerr's comments. It was we all had a secret orientation of what you do and what you don't do. We slid our hand and we
shook on, yeah.
And he broke it. And then Dylan Brooks being like, I wasn't invited. I have no idea what the code was. Yeah. I made a mistake. That's how I broke it down.
Yeah, because I don't think, we'll never know. I just don't think the Jordan Poole knee thing was intentional. It looks everything looks worse in slow motion, but in real time, if he has that kind of processing time, he need to be doing something other than playing basketball. I think
he's a Marvel superhero.
Yeah, I think he realized I'm not going to get the ball and push it. But he need to be
in World War II, making astronaut. A mathematics machine that would change the world.
He should be Alan Turing. I've been saying it for years. No, I don't think it was malicious, so I don't think there's any code. But if does Draymond Green know about this code? He plays for Steve Kerr's team. Does he know about this code? Or no? Maybe you don't.
And wasn't it, who was the Warrior a couple years ago? Zaza
Pachulia.
Hello, what code did
all
he
these
follow?
People missed the meeting apparently.
Right.
That Steve Kerr threw.
The Warriors fans on this podcast are suspiciously quiet. Right?
Which again, it happens, but yeah, you can't have that in your house and then talk about somebody else breaking the code. Yeah, it feels hypocritical.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that it was very unfortunate and it was a bad play and everything that went down. Nobody wants to see Gary Payton II not playing, especially after how long he's worked to get into the league. But monologue Steve Kerr is not my favorite Steve Kerr.
He think he popped, man.
He does.
he popped.
He thinks he's Jon Stewart, at the beginning of every... Y'all remember The Daily Show used to open with this long monologue that'd be about righting a wrong?
He just cuts over to Bob Myers, and Bob Myers is playing the guitar like the dude for Jay Leno. Yeah, that's right, Bob. Yeah, that's Steve Kerr's set, his opening set. After every game, he does a tight 15.
So to me, I don't care about this because they shook hands. Yes. It's over for me at that point. Right. Because I think the only person who's remaining mad about it, although Gary Payton Jr., like, that would be appropriate.
He should be
Seems
mad.
like Steve Kerr.
Right. And I think he did tweet something like after Ja tweeted that, give me a break. Like, it's not the same thing. They can't compare the two. But I agree with you. If he did intentionally pull his knee back, I'm sure there's room in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for
Gotta be.
Jordan Poole. I mean, there's already a Deadpool.
Kick out Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
We can find something.
Overstaying his welcome for a long time.
He said, no, wait a minute.
That's a San Francisco movie.
Okay.
And it all comes back full circle. That would make it. He could just slide right in. He's
there. You go.
Oh damn.
Just saying.
What is something you guys care more about than this?
Then the code.
I can start. I care more about Rebecca Vardy's libel trial. Do you guys know anything about this?
I'm not familiar.
All right, it's a wonderful story. But a couple years ago, the wife of Jamie Vardy, who's a footballer, as they say, literally planned to ruin this woman's life, who's also the wife of a soccer player.
Like through Instagram, right?
Is it Colleen Rooney or Caroline? Probably Colleen. Caroline doesn't sound very European, or English or whatever.
European.
Anyway, yeah, she basically schemed to ruin her life, and then Miss Rooney exposed her on Instagram. Or maybe it was Twitter. It was one of the most wonderful days. And now she's
tried to ruin
trial.
her life. How?
Okay, let me pull it up. Oh, why you'd call out my memory in front of everyone like this?
I thought you had it like on call.
I don't remember that much about it. I remember that she pretended like someone was in Mexico. It was a big story. Jeez. I think her name was Colleen.
From what I remember, I might have this mixed up because I did do a deep dive because I just thought it was interesting that it was like plotting over like kind of making a fake Instagram kind of portraying Insta-plotting on how to like their public appearance, kind of how to ruin her life.
Right. Yeah, this is from the Independent. They make you pay for it. I can't send this one to you guys.
I'll never pay.
We'll circle back. All right, I'm gonna do my research and we'll circle back. But that trial is today, and
wow,
I'm interested. I hope that Colleen Rooney gets justice.
That is interesting.
Yeah,
I was not aware. Yeah.
More interesting than broke the code. So
talk about someone who broke the code. She made a fake Instagram just to talk shit about this other person, like ruin her reputation for no reason.
You do that on Twitter with the rest of us. That's not Instagram behavior.
They're calling this the Wagatha Christie trial. They're the wife of athletes. I hate it, but it is clever.
They give cute names to just terrible trials.
So Jamie Vardy is the husband of Rebecca Vardy, and ever since Ted Lasso, I realized how awful it would be to be named Jamie and be English, because they say Jamie, like it's so much to exert.
It's a lot.
He's going by Jay at that point.
Yeah, middle name or something.
Yeah. All right. What's the next one? What do we want to do next? Gobert and Shaq.
That was the one I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could Rudy Gobert lock up primetime Shaq? Recently, Gobert came up on Shaq's podcast when someone said he'd score just 12 points on the big man, to which Shaq fired back, yeah, in 3 minutes. Stupid as fucking. Okay, that made the rounds on social media, and Rudy decided to hop in Instagram comments to reassert that he would lock his ass up.
With a lock emoji, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Emoji
blah,
made it
blah,
serious.
blah, 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 blah. Okay, then they talk about NBA on TNT. Whatever. What do you guys think about this?
Can you imagine a more boring game of one-on-one?
Yeah, I don't like. It's never gonna happen. I don't like. I wouldn't watch somebody do that on 2K.
Oh yeah.
Do like Orlando Shaq versus Rudy Gobert. No thanks.
No,
Right.
thanks.
All set.
I love how Dwayne Wade is now a part of this because the All-Star game is in Utah, and he was like, y'all want to make this a real thing as like an All-Star event of old Shaq. We were talking about Shaq in his prime, but now people are saying Shaq now against Rudy Gobert. I don't want to see that. I barely want to see things from All-Star Weekend as it is. I definitely don't want to see that. My favorite thing about all of this is Rudy Gobert, each day that goes by, he catches a stray in some way or another. And it's my favorite type of content. It's like a ritual. My fiance gets home, we're like, how did Rudy Gobert catch a stray today? It's like the best thing.
It's like a cup of coffee in the morning. Like it just kind of sets the tone.
It's perfect. And this Donovan Mitchell was also thrown in there that I think a lot of people missed. But yeah.
See, that's the thing. I like to slander Donovan Mitchell, but a lot of it, when you do it, it comes off like you're defending Rudy Gobert, which I won't do. So it's I'm really in a corner. I'm really in a corner there.
I saw this analytics commercial by the NBA, and there's someone speaking on it. And I'm waiting till the end to see who is speaking on it. And I was like out of the room, and I came back in the room. It's a commercial for a way to watch the NBA that gives you advanced stats as you watch. And I just thought, if this is a player, what a bad promo, because players all the time are talking about how much they hate analytics and people think they know everything. And I was just like, who would do this?
The people that cover basketball.
Donovan Mitchell.
Well,
Donovan Mitchell.
The people
Donovan
that
Mitchell
cover
was
basketball.
on that commercial endorsing it.
That's your boy. Couldn't be me.
Nerd behavior.
I know.
Nerd
Police behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, this is just, I don't know. I guess Rudy felt like he had to defend himself, but what a boring. Yeah, I just don't care about this battle. And also, Shaq always picks someone.
It's whoever
a big man
is.
every couple years, who he feels threatened by weirdly, and just decides to pick on him. And but yeah, also I don't want to turn into someone who's like, you guys don't remember the good days. But if you did not, just go like YouTube Shaq highlights, and there's no debate at all.
Which is not a knock to Rudy.
Right.
No, that's the
there
thing.
was not a
It's not
human
at
being
all
on the planet ever that
No.
could do something with young Shaq. Not a knock to Rudy, but yeah, it's Gobert. It'll be when DeAndre Ayton gets paid and he's averaging 14 points, and Shaq is like, "Oh, I wish I got $200 million for 4." Like that's just how this is gonna go forever.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Okay, what is something, now you guys have to answer, since I was vulnerable, answered with something I know and remember very little about. What's something you care more about than this? Harry, I know you've got something.
I got one if Harry don't.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I care about how the NBA, the on-court product of the NBA is better than ever. I feel like we would agree. And none of the parts around it particularly like each other.
That
Because
is so true.
The players hate the fans now
yes.
for justifiable reasons. Fans hate the play. I mean, fans have always heckle and boo, but I think KD was on to something. The legacy talk, the rings talk, and gambling talk. It's a little something extra with the fans against the players. Everybody
Right.
hates the officials.
Everybody.
The not Spinsters, of course, but a lot of people that cover the NBA, I don't think they like basketball, and I think it shows. And I think it shows in their coverage. And so it's like, how did we get here? How are we watching Giannis and Embiid and some of the best talent ever in their prime, and everybody's mad about it, player empowerment or sitting out game. It's like everybody's mad about something.
Yeah.
Nobody's enjoying
and
what we're seeing.
The broadcasters hate they hate the modern product too. That's our joke, like on our Twitter bio. It's a basketball podcast for people who like basketball. Sorry, Jeff Van Gundy, because I didn't even like it.
He likes it he likes it the way he was taught it in 1971 or whatever. Like, that's basketball.
Yep. To
Jeff Van Gundy. But I will say, to the credit, I think Jim Jackson as an announcer, I think he likes basketball. Good. People are, how do y'all feel about SVG? I like him as an announcer.
I was just gonna say that. I like it. I think that he is. You can see the curmudgeon-ness come out every game a little bit more and more and more. Mm-hmm. And maybe it is just, the family name. That's just the way they go.
It's their get down.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's hereditary, but I like him. I think it's refreshing anytime someone new comes in. But
I think Reggie Miller gets a lot of flack. Reggie Miller genuinely enjoys basketball. And I think
that's so true.
It shows.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true. I'll give him that. I just call Reggie Captain Obvious. He's always he repeats the things that just happened that we all saw.
But you got to make sure you saw it, though.
He has to make sure, but he does have that excitement. Like, Steph Curry will make a three, and he's like, did you just see Steph Curry made a 3-pointer?
He likes it's like Tony Romo. I don't know how much football y'all watch, but Tony Romo gets flack. Yeah. People in the booth, they're like, he's just so excited. I was like, I think he likes football. Like, when did that become like a bad thing? I think he enjoys what he gets paid to watch and discuss. And now I feel like it's definitely more, I don't know, people rooted for analytics. Or like whatever side, people rooted for whatever side they were on. Mm-hmm. It was about whatever side you were on. You were pushing the that boy nice or the analytics or the more threes or the whatever. And meanwhile, I feel like you just look at the product and see there's 100 ways to skin a cat. You can go mid-range like the Suns do. You can have a dominant big. You can have dominant guard. Like, there's just so many ways, and it just feels like it all comes back. It doesn't look this certain way. Why doesn't it look this certain way? Yeah. And I don't know. It's bizarre to me.
Yeah, I was thinking that too with the Warriors and Grizzlies series. Like, after the games end, I'm like, wow, that was fun. And there's so much other storylines that are swirling it and so much drama that we're forgetting that this is a really good series. This is not last night. The basketball was kind of bad last night. But overall, the skill and the excitement is there. And I hope that everything else kind of goes away and that the basketball stays good.
I hope so, because if the basketball is not good, then then we're just left with like all the other stuff. And now the reason we're here is not even good. So I'm thankful for the on-court talent we have, because the rest feels like a mess. But I'm sure probably every generation, there's probably somebody in the 80s and the 70s and saying this. I don't know what Stern's got going on. The league feels worse than ever. And now I get to be that guy, because I'm like, I don't know what the hell is going on. It feels like everybody hates everybody. But
need a cleanse of some sort. I feel that. Juice cleanse. That's NBA. I'll think about it. All right, we're going to take an ad, and then we're going to do everyone's favorite subject, DeAndre Jordan plus minus. Okay. DeAndre Jordan plus minus. I was not aware that this was a Twitter debate because I stayed off Twitter for most of this series.
Smart.
I looked up his plus minus. Game 1, minus 22. Game 2, minus 9. Game 3, very impactful 0 because he did not play. Game 4, same thing, did not play. I would
Which
say
games
I wonder,
of the series did Philly win?
I don't think it's a coincidence that they won game 3 and 4 when he did not play. Do you guys care about this?
not really. I just care. I've said it so many episodes now, but just the fact that Doc was like, the proof is in the pudding and I don't care and I'm still gonna do it. That was just such a bold, he's just really sure of himself and who he is as a person, and he was not wavering for anyone, and that's what I took from that experience.
I was gonna say that's the portion that I care about, that everyone can see it. It's literally like whatever minutes down, you're lighting minutes on fire. That's just that like just being realistic. And Doc Rivers is like, I like fire. I'll light all the minutes on fire. And he finally changes, and it works. And I would still wager. I still think we see DeAndre Jordan minutes in this series. I feel it in my gut. I feel it in my gut, Jordan. I think we get some more DeAndre. He can't help himself.
I think
he can't help himself.
I think that he sees that they win, and he's going into the locker room being like, if I could change one thing about this game, is DeAndre Jordan didn't play. But we got the win. I guess it's okay. I don't think he even. But
I feel like he's in DeAndre Jordan's ear right now. Like, listen, big fella. We got you on ice right now. Stay ready.
DeAndre Jordan's like, no.
Yeah.
look at I want a ring. Like, no. Look at the stats.
Please let me.
Look at my plus minus.
He was so tired in those little minutes that he did play. He was gasping because he didn't expect this role. He's not even wasn't even prepping for this. He probably wasn't even really going through shoot around. He's like, I'm not getting any minutes. It's cool. And then he's all of a sudden starting. He didn't want that.
No.
Respectfully, DeAndre Jordan started this year starting for the Lakers, if I'm not mistaken.
That is so funny.
A team that would go on to lose 50 games early on told DeAndre Jordan, thanks, but no thanks, my friend. The Nets, the only reason the Nets have, it was Kyrie, it was KD, and it was DeAndre Jordan, because he's just the homie of all homies. They don't have any picks left because they traded to get those guys. I think it was 3 or 4 second-round picks to get him out of there. These are one playoff team, one with aspirations. And Doc Rivers said, that's my starting center. Jordan, that's my break in case of emergency. I don't care what the plus minus says. He's never cared what the plus minus said. So if he just wants to light minutes on fire, it's just more evidence for the Doc pack. So I'm fine with that.
What's that dumb quote that guys love about some people just like to see the world on fire or something? It's got to be like a Marvel thing. Probably. What is it?
It's like a line from the Joker, or Heath Ledger's Joker. Yeah.
To watch the world burn.
Yeah, yeah.
Some men just want to watch the world burn. Doc Rivers. And the Joker. I guess the Joker probably didn't say that.
And somebody in the league has a big Joker tattoo.
There's multiple people.
Is it Jokic?
Probably.
No, not Jokic.
I feel bad that Jokic, gets lumped in with all the Joker stuff. It's just tacky.
You think he's ever heard of the Joker? If you think I don't think he's ever.
No, I think the closest he's gotten to pop culture is when he did that video with those 3 TikTok girls, the dancers at All Star, and then he made that face that I will never,
for as
long as I live, get out of my fucking head. It was so bad.
Yeah. I had forgotten that from my memory.
Yeah, me too.
And now it is back.
Haley.
Sorry.
It's DeMar. DeMar DeRozan has it.
DeMar has it.
Big
Joker.
I was going to say, you'll never guess who has the Joker tattoo.
Yeah, I would not have guessed
Why
DeMar.
I don't know. How old is DeMar at this point? It is an older millennial. They love the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and everyone was the Joker for Halloween. Remember,
right.
For LeBron's
big thing.
Halloween party? That was a really every NBA player dressed up as him.
But wasn't that before the incel Joker came out?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now you just got that tat, and people thinking that's the, you know what I mean? It's tough business.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
You shouldn't get a tattoo that needs context.
That's a rule of thumb.
If like could be construed bad because Sierra, your corn thing doesn't count because that's awesome, independent of whatever. But I don't know if I should tell this story.
Please.
This is a safe space.
Tyler, you always do this. So we had a contractor over at our house. We were like talking to different contractors, and one of them had a tattoo that said,
"Hello, Spinsters listeners. This is producer Harry here. Haley is requesting that I cut the story that she's about to tell. So instead, I will tell you a brief story of my own. One time, when I was in Crown Heights, I was at this coffee shop, and this guy with a giant flute walked in, and the barista was like, "Oh, what is that, flute?" And he was like, "Oh, it's this really cool flute," started playing on it, like, he was doing a kind of amazing flute routine in the coffee shop. And they ordered a large iced latte, and then he walked out, and the barista told me, and then immediately clicked for me that was Andre 3000. So that's the story of me seeing Andre 3000 at a coffee shop, instead of the story that Haley told. Okay, back to the episode.
Anyway, I have a palm tree tattoo. No context. It was $20 in Vegas, so I just got a palm tree for my first tattoo.
You have a tattoo? No, when did you get a palm tree? That's so fun.
Right after I got engaged, I saw that they had you could get one as cheap as like $10.
You got a $20 tattaoo in Vegas.
Bargain
That's so
tattoo.
Bargain tattoo.
You got a clearance.
Clearance. Honestly, it's so on brand for me because I really don't pay full price for anything. So the fact that my tattoo, it's a tiny palm tree on my ankle, and it was
that is so okay. Send me a picture after this.
Yeah, it's
I'm just imagining you walking in like I have $20 to spend. What can I get and where can I get like the 20? Yeah, make it stretch. But they're like palm tree on the ankle. You said I'll take it.
I'll take it.
They had like
Go Sparks.
They had different. You can only choose from a certain gallery of things, and so there were bigger ones that were like $25, $35. I was like, out of my budget.
Too rich
$20.
for my blood.
$20.
I love that.
Best decision ever.
I have a sunshine on my ankle that I got for $15 as a special when I got my first nose piercing. So.
Nice.
You got a BOGO?
Yeah, I got a needle in my nose, and they were like, "Tattoo," and I was like, "Yeah, whatever.
Let's wrap it up. All one sitting.
Can we pierce your skin other times?" And you said, "Yes, please."
Yeah, please.
That's great.
How did we get there? Oh, the Joker tattoo.
The Joker tattoo. Regrettable, but
tough thing.
I almost never care about Plusminus, so I'm gonna go ahead and rule I don't care. The one thing about Plusminus that I hate, I guess the only thing, which is the only thing about it that matters, is that you can't do it if it doesn't have proper context, and the stat itself doesn't. Like, you could be in the game with a really good lineup around you and they're doing great and you're playing like shit, but you would still have a nice plus minus in most contexts, and the reverse is true too. Mm-hmm. So the other day I was explaining to someone like the boyfriend that you've never met on your friend's Instagram and things look great, and they've got the caption like, "I love doing life with you," and he looks nice and blah blah blah, and then you find out he sucks.
That's true.
That's a pretty dead-on metaphor. You can see it, the plus minus that's posted, but you're not getting the full story.
The thing is, I like plus minus for the playoffs, because we're in small sample size theater now. Like, you got 16 wins to get, and everybody left has at least four. You're in the second round. So I like it in terms of, like, last night, the decision. I saw people praising Ime Udoka for he kept Grant Williams out and left Derek White in. It's like, well, one of them was playing poorly. Grant Williams was not playing well. Mm-hmm. His plus minus reflected that. When you swap them out, Derek, like their minutes are similar, but the plus minus. So I like it in that sense. It's like, oh no, that was working. Like over the whole season, yeah, it's way too much context, but small sample. We just got 7 of these, and now we're down to like best of 3. So I want all the single game plus minus now.
I think that makes sense. It's just I don't like when stats override. I don't think that I would be such a grump about it if people didn't override what you can just see with your eyes with stats. You know,
you would have boy nice watcher. You would have boy nice watcher.
I am. Yes. In my heart of hearts, I am 57.
You got that dog in him watcher.
But I think it's funny that you mentioned, you know, Ime Udoka saw the plus minus and then adjusted, and that's like a coach should adjust based off of a stat. That's really fabulous and amazing.
I like that.
Some coaches do that and some don't. Some look at it and say,
like,
these
terrible.
are just numbers.
Doc Rivers.
Exactly.
Can I really quick make an argument for the DeAndre Jordan plus minus mattering?
No, you may not.
There is nothing, you know, if you take the stats out of it and the kind of like analytics out of it, to me, it is like an essential pillar of sports fandom to be mad about the like way the 9th best dude on your team is playing, you know? So like, I when I see Philly fans getting just so worked up about something that doesn't matter really, you know, it is like that's love and hate are 2 sides of the same coin, and they are expressing their like fandom of basketball through hate, which is sort of a Philadelphia staple. But I do think I can appreciate at least like the fandom in it.
That's fair enough.
I don't hate
yeah,
that. Yeah,
especially
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But maybe for everyone else, stop using plus minus.
Oh yeah.
Everyone
Well,
except Tyler in the playoffs and
Just me?
Sixers fans.
Yep.
If you're running analytics on someone else's favorite team, it's like, dude.
You already lost.
Go out,
Yeah, there it is.
Spend your time making a math machine.
Yeah.
To save the world.
Yeah, please, like, do literally anything else. Please.
Okay, we've got some. Wait, Jordan, what's something you care about more than this?
So many things. I care more about Monty Williams' kids presenting him with the Coach of the Year award, and there's like not a dry eye in the practice facility because everybody's crying, and it was so sweet and it was a wonderful moment. And I'm here for all the tears that have happened during this playoffs and after the New Orleans series, when those hugs, those were like good hugs, good basketball teammate hugs. That's what I care about more. I'm here for the feelings.
Can I tell you how much my brain has just been broken by like take culture? I thought you were saying, it's like, listen, I like Stephen A. Smith. I like Monty Williams. He's a good father, a good coach, all that. But that's what I thought was coming.
But
everybody was crying. But you cannot lose Game 5 after crying with your family. Like that's just how my brain has been warped, permanently warped.
So bad. No, let them cry, and it's fine. I'm obsessed with Monty Williams. I think he's just an exceptional human being, and he even said, you know, after all the Chris Paul stuff went down, how Chris Paul fouled out. He said at the press conference, I think it was shoot around the next day, he was like, you know, Chris Paul is someone you just need to check on. He's the guy that you just got to check on him. So I called him. I didn't care about the game. I didn't care about the loss. Just wanted to make sure he was okay. I'm like, you know what? He's my coach of the year.
Nice guy.
All the time. Just a nice guy. I care more about that. More of those stories, please.
I love how yours was
Nice
about
guy
a
of the
nice
year.
guy and his family. And mine was like, libel.
The story I always remember about Monty Williams, if y'all remember when he coached the Hornets and Ryan Anderson played for them.
Oh, right.
And Ryan Anderson, I don't know if they were married. He dated a woman that I think was on The Bachelorette, or she was in some type of reality show. And she passed away. And Ryan Anderson said, he was really having a tough time with that. And he said Monty Williams would like call him over to his house, drag mattresses downstairs. And he was like, we would just lay there and cry. He was like, and then we drag the mattress, he's like, and if he need to come back the next day, that's what we would do. And I was like, oh wow. I was like, I think I'm a Monty Williams guy. I'm a Monty Williams guy.
That's different. Okay, I'm really about to cry right now.
I feel like rare. Like,
yeah.
I feel like we see how these guys are talked about and treated. And there's no telling how it goes behind the scenes. So to hear his guys like will legit run through a wall for him. So that's always pleasant to hear.
That's a good story.
I know, and compare it to some of the coaches who just do manipulative mind games and
Mark Jackson.
Jackson. Sorry.
Both
Dang.
of them. Wait, is Mark Jackson gonna be the next Lakers coach?
no.
We don't even have to.
That would
sure?
honestly, after the Genie Bus story that came out, that would be so funny because pinning stuff on everyone else and saying, which is fair. I mean, there hasn't been a good decision made. She did like a Q&A with somebody, and she basically said she's not happy with where the Lakers are at. So then hiring somebody who has been proven to be awful as a coach, and I'll say it as a person as well, like you are only perpetuating that. So if she makes that decision, look, I've been led to believe by Winning Time, the HBO show, that she is smart.
Jeannie Bean.
Good decision maker. Jeannie Bean. So I don't think it's going to happen. If it has, then I hope he's not someone who like still hates gay people, but
I think it's gonna I feel like the Lakers have just not made good decisions as of late.
They have not. What's the last good decision? I'm genuinely asking. What's the last good decision that they've made? It can be small. It can be drafting someone. It can be trading for someone.
Hiring
Austin Reeves?
Paula Abdul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Jerry Buss just knew she had Moxie. I don't know. I guess Austin
is a good one.
Malik Monk. They got Malik Monk off the
yeah.
Malik Monk off the scratch. I think he like made the minimum, came off the bench.
Yeah.
That was a good thing, I would say.
That was when I was happy. That was a good day.
Right.
As a Lakers fan, that was a good day. I was happy about that.
And he really proved to be more than anyone expected in that role too. Yeah.
And now I won't say it sucks, but like they can't afford him now. It's a good problem to have. He's played himself out of that contract, but yeah, I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah.
But for every one of those, there's like an Alex Caruso walking.
And that's why I do not trust them to make the right coaching.
No.
Right.
I've long before Mark Jackson came into it, I thought the next Lakers coach was going to be Quinn Snyder or Doc Rivers. I still think it's going to be one of those three names.
Quinn Snyder would be good. He's a good coach.
That would be good.
He is a good coach. Doc Rivers is he's a superstar coach, though. I think the Lakers want the name.
Yeah, which is dumb.
They tried to get the names before. They ended up with Frank Vogel because he took the little bitty money they was offering. Not a knock on Frank, but like they tried to get Tyronn Lue. He wanted more money. Mm-hmm. They tried to get, was it somebody else made, and they were like, I need like more years, more money. Frank Vogel took the contract, and even then they had Jason Kidd. I feel like the whole time it was like, well, as soon as he does bad, we'll just bump him for Jason Kidd.
That's exactly yeah. So, we knew that was the plan.
I think they're going for the splash, and I think we see Doc Rivers as the next Lakers head coach.
All right, you heard it first on this program.
Dang.
And maybe only. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but he just feels like a very Lakers-y hire.
Well, he might have to get out of there soon, so I think that could make sense.
Yeah.
Let's do one more. We can pick from does the Heat have a bad fan base? We can pick Jokic versus Embiid MVP. Or we could do is Harden back? Or we could do is JJ Redick good for first take? These are all strong internet opinions.
Wow, that's a gambit. I think JJ, that's just, I think it's great. I think he's really, really great at his job. I didn't hear about the Heat fans, though.
Yeah, what's the Heat fan?
I'm curious about that one.
This was thrown out there as, does X team have a bad fan base? Just because every year it seems like people are talking about certain fan bases as in they suck. But I filled in with the Heat because I saw multiple tweets that were along the lines of, wow, Miami fans can't stay in the seats and they leave. But these were coming from Sixers fans, and the Sixers were down big. I'd imagine that Heat fans are tired of this because you can't really come back from something like Game 6 in 2013. But remember where they like all left and then they could not get back in?
Yeah.
And LeBron said it was the best game he'd ever played in his life.
And I think Chris Bosh was like, stay home. Like, don't even come.
Yeah.
That was after. Okay.
Well, they were also like I think it's like Dodgers fans. They're like the Dodgers fans, they get there late, but they stay. I feel like Heat fans, like, you getting there late and you leaving early. Like, you can get here to the second quarter. It's like, yeah, third quarter, you like, oh, time to be hitting the old dusty trail. I feel like that's, so if that's what make them bad, I hadn't heard that, but I was thinking different type of bad fan.
Bad, like attractive.
I was thinking like Mavericks fans, like harassing people bad.
See, yeah, no, it's like bad fans of their own teams. But to be fair, like Sixers fans are saying this, you're booing your own players.
Yeah, they don't have the best fan base. For Miami, I think of it for, like, I went to school and played basketball right near the ocean in San Diego. And so no one came to our games because there was a billion other things that you could do in beautiful San Diego. And I think that's probably the same thing with Miami. They have a lot of options. Utah fans, this is their week. This made their week going to that game.
Oklahoma City, those stands be full.
Full for overtime. No overtime. They're staying an hour after just to basket
Detroit
all in.
in January. Yeah, it don't matter. Packed. Miami, not so much.
You can go somewhere. You can really have, something else to do with the rest of your night. So that's my theory with that.
Yeah, maybe they're not bad fans. They're just cool. Maybe they got, they got stuff to do.
They got places to be.
It's Miami.
Yeah. Dinner to eat. Yeah.
Though, so you know how when two weather systems hit each other, sometimes it can create like a natural disaster of some kind, like a Sierra's nodding, like a hurricane or tsunami or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's already one there, which is Miami, and there is a new one entering the mix, which is the kind of like extreme migration of San Francisco tech, like Bitcoin people moving to Miami, like in droves. Is it who are famously
Are they
bad?
moving to Miami?
Yeah, that's interesting. Is it the tech hub or just like the rent or
it's
everything?
Like
probably.
I can, for whatever reason, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and all that stuff is very popular in Miami. Like
maybe
big scam city.
Miami. Big scam city, exactly.
Big
but
scam
also
city.
maybe it's because there's no income tax.
I'm sure that's part of it.
That's why they're going to Texas. Like there were a ton of businesses in California that moved to Texas, and my friend moved to Texas for a year because her husband's job moved, and she was like, I can't live in Dallas anymore.
Yeah. I believe the mayor of Miami is very crypto friendly. Like you can now get paid in Bitcoin, whatever.
Red flag. Yeah. I do not want my mayor to be crypto friendly.
Totally.
No. Actively crashing, by the way, like as we speak.
No, thank you.
So
these are clashing ecosystems because you can't wear Patagonia fleece in Miami.
It's just like a mesh shirt or something in Miami. It's still Patagonia, but it's like a chain link shirt or something and some sandals. It's just a different aesthetic.
It's a Patagonia collab with the street vendors you see in Miami Beach that are like airbrushing the shirt. Yeah.
Ooh.
$900 shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that stuff costs.
I will say a pro to Miami fandom. I don't know if you guys have seen this woman, but she is sitting front row in a Miami. It's like a new take on a jersey dress. It's like a gown where it's like the Miami Heat print, and she sits in the front row, and she's it's
like art. Every game, like she's like season.
She had a white one, she had a black one, so she has multiple of these. Yes, does Sierra have it? Yes. Oh, a red one, matching gloves.
That is a good look.
That's a great look.
So the jersey dress is coming back in a different form.
Jersey gown
that this lady has taken her fandom, and I kind of love it. Now that's something I could get behind.
Her name is Lolly.
Lolly. Of course it is. Of course. Like, her name was not going to be.
I know. I literally know this woman is Russian. Let me find her name so I can Google it. Like, there's the Moscow native.
Oh, wow. Here's the thing. You don't Google too, because we're going to find out she was canceled for something. So
I know. I like her. Let me live in this aura. Yeah.
Like, I was going to say, like, you can Google it. Don't Google too much.
I don't want to cancel too much. Yeah.
Yeah. One scroll too far, and it's like, man, she did time for double murder in the 80s.
Yeah.
I just like her. I like her Miami Heat jersey gowns, which is like, that's a fan, and that's a good
class.
That's a good fan. You know, you have to sit courtside if you have that gown on. That's a must.
Without question.
For leg room, purely for that's got to be hot in there.
Yes.
I'm glad we didn't pick Jokic versus Embiid for MVP.
That's the worst one.
Yeah.
I think it's just been done to, like, we've been doing it for, those have been the two guys for 2/3 of the season. Like, what's left to say that hasn't been said?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I agree.
Well, how about JJ? Tyler, do you think he's good for First Take?
I haven't seen him on First Take. I've heard him call in the game. I think he's another person that seems to like basketball, like funny and all that. I'm not going to let him skate past the went to Duke allegations. Like, people are just like, oh, he's so likable now. He still went to Duke. Let's not
I've never seen anyone from Duke make this kind of likability.
That's what I'm saying. Though. So let's
I mean, it's fully
let's just pump the brakes. So far so good, right? I'll admit that, but 4 years at Duke, so I'm just waiting till the other shoe drops, basically.
That's fair enough. Before we leave, can I read you guys the original Colleen Rooney post that sent this whole thing off?
Yes.
Please.
2019. This was tweeted at 5:29 a.m. Now, why do I know that? Because I'm reading it right now on the tweet. But why do I also know that? Because I was up. I could not sleep. I watched a scary movie the night before. I was I was wired. I wasn't sleeping. So I saw this in real UK time. Colleen Rooney tweets, the wife of Wayne Rooney. This has been a burden in my life for a few years now, and finally I've got to the bottom of it. I want to clear something up real quick. I didn't mean that's her defining trait, being the wife of him. To quote Tyler, I want to stop those allegations before they begin, just to give some soccer context. All right. She tweets, for a few years now, someone who I trusted to follow me on my personal Instagram account has been consistently informing the Sun newspaper of my private posts and stories. There has been so much information given to them about me, my friends, and my family, all without my permission or knowledge. After a long time of trying to figure out who it could be for various reasons, I had a suspicion. To try and prove this, I came up with an idea. I blocked everyone from viewing my Instagram stories except one account. Those on my private account must have been wondering why I haven't had stories on there for a while. Over the past 5 months, I've posted a series of false stories to see if they made their way to the Sun newspaper. And you know what? They did. The story about gender selection in Mexico, I think it's like a something with her baby. The story about returning to TV, and then the latest story about the basement flooding in my new house. Did not happen, right? But she's just making these stories up to see if they got leaked. It's been tough keeping it to myself and not making any comment at all, especially when the stories have been leaked. However, I had to. Now I know for certain which account/individual it's come from. I have saved and screenshotted all the original stories, which clearly show just one person have viewed them. This is the best part at the very end.
So
she says,
"This is thorough." ...
Rebecca Vardy's account.
Oh, this is like Nancy Drew or like I am.
That's Littlefinger. Like plant the different story. Yeah, see who's talking. That
so
is
now years
genius.
later, Rebecca Vardy is suing Colleen Rooney for libel.
Oh, so
she's
it's
like, why would you? Yeah.
Why would you say I ruined your life after I ruined your life? Don't tell people that. Stop telling people I ruined your life, please.
Yeah,
she has the receipts of you are the only person. What is she saying? I got hacked.
Full circle. That's Rico. She set her up for the conspiracy charges. She walked her down the road. That's Rico.
Right.
She Rico'd her.
Dang. Wow, that was good. Way to save that to the end. That was good.
Yeah. So that's what I care about. I also was prepared to say I care about Hillary Duff's legacy because I think she's making a comeback.
Ooh.
Did you guys see that cover she did in the story? Delightful story. Delightful cover.
Yeah.
I didn't. Is she
Go
like
Hillary
acting,
Duff.
writing stuff? Like
no, making a comeback is in. I was really young when I acted, and I don't know that people got my personality perfectly. And she's just coming back as someone who,
as an adult,
I don't think's gonna be milkshake ducked. She seems like a nice person, so don't let her fall down the Vanessa Hudgens hole.
Fingers
please,
crossed,
Lord.
man.
Please, Lord.
It's like, oh no, did you see what
I
Hillary
need some
Duff
pure
said
people to
about
lust
building the
after,
wall?
please.
Oh no,
I don't ask for much. I also saw a conspiracy that Rihanna is delaying her birth date so she can keep getting pregnancy outfits off.
Okay.
Can you do that?
No. I mean, you can like.
She's rich, man. Like, she's like, 12 months. Yeah,
you can induce, but you can't usually like delay. I mean, I don't know. I never had a baby. It just seems like
if there was a way, Rihanna would find it.
She would have access to that way.
She would have access. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to run. But this was so fun. It was wonderful.
Yeah, love you, Jordan.
Likewise. Thank you all for having me.
Jordan, you want to play us out?
Oh, yes. That's our show. Thank you for listening. This was very fun. Please keep leaving us voicemails and sending us emails. Don't forget about the Kevin Love line. We would still love to hear those. Call us on our voicemail at 502-874-4453 or send us an email at spinsters@bluewirepods.com to be featured on the show. And shout out to our always inquisitive producer and wonderful Harry Kritzky.